So I have a lot of really big things happening this year. Do you guys notice that you have pivotal moments in life? Yeah. Sometimes you look back and you're like, that was a bigger pivotal moment than I actually anticipated, and I should have paid more attention. But sometimes you're living in that moment, you're like, it's painful, it's growing, it's something's happening, I just don't know what, I'm excited, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm all these things. But it's a pivotal moment. And I feel like I'm in the middle of one of those pivotal moments in my life. And the reason that's happening, I feel, is that I'm about to hit my 30-year anniversary in this industry. I'm about to hit my 20-year anniversary as a salon owner. I'm about to turn 47, and I'm not anywhere I thought I would be at this stage in my life. And so all the preparation and the planning and everything that I've done, I'm at a completely different place, much, much better than I could have anticipated. Because I kind of let it go, and I kind of taught myself to just kind of go with the flow, but yet to listen to the lessons in life that are really, really valuable. And so I have the question always asked to me, almost every single show, Nikki, what's the most important thing? What's the most valuable thing you can share with me that helps me grow my career? You know, what would make me be more successful? You know, it's like the word, it's a cliche term of successful. And I think that, first of all, you have to kind of define success. You know, I think this is pretty standard. You have to define success as well for what you think it is, right? Not what I think it is. So first I got to find out what you feel like you're successful, or you're making money, or wealthy. Right? So I wanted to give you guys the definition of what I felt that I learned in the last 30 years of my career. And hitting all of these key points in my life, these pivotal moments, I wanted to sort of share it because it made me think a lot about that over the last year, sort of as I'm preparing to do this in my life. And so I named this presentation, I wanted to bring it to you guys, 30 years of 60 minutes, because I have 60 minutes with you guys. And I wanted to share the best things that I could gather that I learned out of life, and also from other professionals that I've had the opportunity to really learn as I'm on this journey about what makes them successful as well. So this is, let me introduce myself really quickly. So some of you, a lot of you in the room, I've known for a few years or more, and I count myself as very fortunate to be your friends. And some of you don't know who I am. My name is Nick Trowbridge, or Nikki, or Nickster, or Wikipedia, or whatever you want to call me, I don't really care. But I am a salon owner, I'm an academy owner, I'm an educator. My focus and my skill set lies in business. I find that business calls my heart. And as I'm growing my business, that's 20 years, we have about 40-something employees. It always vacillates between 40 and 49 for some reason, because I'm really terrified to take it over that 50 mark. So I'm just like, do we really need her here? No, I'm just kidding. It just, for some reason, the number just doesn't hit that 50 yet, you know, and so maybe it's my deliberate thing, I don't really know. I don't even know if that's where I'm going in life. If I want my business to be over 50 employees. I'm kind of pretty happy where everything is, and I'm taking my life in a different direction. And so I am becoming more of an educator. I want to teach people more about how to run their businesses better, and maybe how to make a little bit more money behind a chair. And I feel like I'm so fortunate to have the opportunity to have groomed so many amazing people. I can say that I have a lot of staff that's been with me for probably close to the 20 years. And so we've had people there. We are introducing a profit share layer in our business at the 20-year mark. So we are going to be selling shares into the business so that my top producers and my top people are going to be able to be part owner into the business. And so I feel really, really strongly about that, that this is the direction of the commission-based salon. And that's a whole different class. But we can talk more about that another time. But for today, I think for this morning, I'd love to set you guys off on this weekend of learning and growth and inspiration with something very inspirational. Yeah. And so, but you know me, those of you that know me, I can't do all inspiration. I gotta have some numbers, because I like numbers a lot. And so at the end of this presentation, I'm going to share with you guys the purpose of doing all of these very intangible, inspirational things, and how that parlays into your paycheck, into your bank account, right? And so that's really where I'm going to lead you guys this morning. So the objective of this class is to really understand the difference between someone successful and someone maybe not so successful. I don't know. Do you guys ever find like you look at somebody and you're like, they're not successful at all, but they think they're so amazingly successful? Maybe, I don't really know. So again, it's the definition, right? But I think one of the most important things to understand the difference of someone successful or not successful, and I wrote it up here because I always hear like everyone is so hard on themselves about failure. They're like, I failed, I suck, you know, it's like, you know, I ruined my life, I ruined your life, I ruined your business. It's like so pessimistic. And that's the first thing that has to change, I would tell you, is that you have to shift your mindset. You got to get out of that whole mode of like, everything sucks and I'm a failure, right? Because failure is actually a really good thing. So that's the first lesson I'd like to share with you guys this morning. Failure is never a bad thing. Failure is always a good thing. Even though it hurts really bad at the time and sometimes it blows our ego a little bit and all that kind of stuff, failure is amazingly good for you. Because if you don't fail, you're not having the learning curve. You're not actually traveling on the learning curve. So you gotta learn failure is good, and you gotta know that when you fail, it's an opportunity. It's a doorway that you're gonna walk in, and or not, I don't know, it's up to you, but if you walk through it, you're gonna learn something from it. You're gonna come out better for it at the end. So definitely, guys, embrace failure completely. Diane, can you move the slide? And so here's what I think one of the biggest key points of successful people are. Good morning, guys. Is that they really almost always have a plan. They're always strategic about something, right? And also, they become internal, which means they become self-aware, self-inspiring, self-reflective, self-controlled, self-everything. Everything you can think of that you should apply to self, you should apply to self. The sign of a true leader, especially inside of your business, watch for the people who become very self-inward, not egotistical, okay? Altruistic, but more importantly, someone who is very reflective and very aware of what they're doing on the inside. Somebody who is reactive and bouncy. Have you guys ever heard of this? And the reason why I use the word bouncy is because I think we all operate at a certain frequency. And then if you sometimes get close to somebody who's a very bouncy, jostly frequency, it's a bit painful to be around them, unless you're like that yourself. And so if you are exactly like that, you're operating at just a bit of a lower frequency, and then that makes you very reactive. So everything is reactive and out of control, and these are the people that every other week something bad's happening, right? My car broke down, or I lost my job, or my house burned down, or my grandma died, or my uncle died, or my grandma died for the 4th time, or whatever it is, right? You know these people, there's always some tragedy and something going on in their life that's going to stop them from getting to where they need to be. They create their own obstacles. And so they are not self-aware, because people who become very self-aware and internal, they operate at a very silent, low hum frequency, that they're very refined. They can hear the nuance of the room before they even walk in the room, right? You know those people. You walk in and you're like, so she kind of gets it. The people who aren't operating at that frequency don't recognize that frequency until they learn and become ready to hear that frequency. It's just becoming not so egocentric, right? But more world-centric, and start to open themselves up to the rest of the world. And I think that's very, very important. And so these are some of the key points that I think make someone very, very successful. And so I wanted to share that with you guys first, before we start talking about any lessons, because I think that's really the glue that holds all these lessons together. Would you guys agree with me? So let's look at the landscape. So who knows Jim Rohn? Anybody? Jim Rohn is such a brilliant man. I adore him. I listen to everything he does, and I learn so much. But he speaks about something called a career ladder. But we all know what this career ladder is. The career ladder is, and by the way, in the class that I'm going to be teaching about salon owners, we're going to be teaching career ladders and how to create your own career ladder inside your salon. I think the key to success for a commission-based salon, and how I have 48 employees at any given time, is that I have a very strong career ladder in my salon. Meaning, if I hire you, I can show you that path, and you'll understand exactly how you're going to grow. On the tiers, on the levels, on compensation, on what my expectation is, on what your expectation should be in yourself, on all of that. And that's a career ladder, guys. And a career ladder is really important to understand, because we are all here today at this show so that we know how to climb that damn career ladder, right? So we don't want to stay here on this bottom rung, right? Because the bottom rung is minimum wage, agreed? Or maybe slightly below. It's people who are just starting internships. Maybe they don't even want money yet. They're like, just let me work with you. I'll just sweep the floor. You know what I mean? Which is brilliant. because they just want you to test them out. They're ready to show what they have. And you need to have a layer in your career ladder for those people too, because those are the people that you're pulling from. And so it's very important to know that you need to nurture that level. But the landscape generally looks like this. I'm not going to spend all the time describing these, but you have multiple pathways. And so at certain points in our career, and as a salon owner or stylist, we decide, behind the chair isn't for me. I want to go down education. Or maybe education really isn't for me anymore either. Maybe I want to go down manufacturing or distributorship or representatives inside salons selling products. Maybe I don't want to work in a salon or anything at all. Maybe I just want to create a beauty product that I can sell to the industry and become a manufacturer. I don't know. But the point is, know what the career choices are in the landscape and then the vast opportunities that are out there, but understand the career ladder as it sits, which means minimum wage, $7.25 in Virginia. Maryland, I believe it's the same. Yeah. Maryland. Oh, it just jumped. Okay. So it's higher in Maryland. Sorry, guys. Anyway, or congratulations. So, and Virginia's probably changing soon too. I think they're jumping soon. But the point is, you start on the career ladder at minimum wage. But how do you break free of the minimum wage barrier, which is the hourly, which means you're waiting for your employer to tell you when you can get a raise? How do you break free of that? You know what's beautiful about this industry? Because there's no barriers. That's the beauty. And that's why the beauty industry is so freaking incredible. And if you guys don't get that at this level, I don't know when you're going to ever get that. That's why you want to be in here. It's creative. It's brilliant. You are free to express yourselves with tattoos and haircuts and hair color and jewelry and wear whatever the hell you want to wear. Because I know some styles that wear workout clothes every day. So you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. You have so much freedom in this industry. You're not pinned down to a government job, bureaucratic office positions where you have to look a certain way or act a certain way or talk a certain way. Now, we need to structure our business just a bit more because we're just maybe a bit too free, but we want to travel up that career path very, very strategically with a plan. So I would encourage you all at this point to know where you sit on the career ladder. Have you broken free of the minimum wage or hourly bracket yet? Are you completely free, sitting past $60, $70 average tickets to be making $100, $120 average tickets, which is top producer status, guys? Okay, so if you're sitting at top producer status, you call the shots. A lot of these people are becoming independent contractors, and we see the shift happening in our business every single day. But then when they get out to independent contractors, they drop because they don't have the support team that a commission-based salon can give. And if you don't have a support team, you're not going to continue to grow. When it falls onto yourself, everything, you're responsible for everything. And that's not a bad thing if you're a hustler and you got your shit together. But if you don't, you're going to fall apart just a little bit. So you got to know what's best for you. Because maybe independent contractor isn't what's best for you. Maybe working in a really amazing commission-based salon is. We just got to find the right salon to grow you, right? And so maybe this salon might not be the best place. You got to find a different one. And this is why people jump. So who in this room are commission-based salon owners? Anybody? Okay, commission-based salon owners. They're not going anywhere. I know everyone thinks, oh shit, commission-based salon owners are going to fail, and then they're going to go away. They're not going anywhere. I'll tell you why. 1.2 million new entries to this industry every single year. At a failure rate of about 70%, by the way, just so you guys know. Meaning after 2 years, they leave the industry. But let's look at about 200,000 or 300,000 people entering this industry every year. You think they can be an independent contractor? I don't think so. They need to work for a commission-based salon. And they need to work for a commission-based salon that has a career ladder and a career path that's going to help guide them to grow. And then when they grow to a certain place, what makes them stay? What gives them longevity, right? We'll talk about that in the next class. This class isn't about that. But the point is that I'm trying to make to you guys is know what the career ladder is, know what the path is, teach it, train it, and inspire it. Cool. All right, so you guys that know me know that I teach everything in 3 skill sets. I think if you're going to move up the career ladder, Jim Rohn says, if you want to move up the career ladder as fast as possible, you are going to do 3 things. You're going to build skill, and the skill is on you. You're not going to, dress better. Maybe that helps out a lot, but you're not going to do things that are outward. You're going to do things that are inward, right? So you're going to work on your technical skill, you're going to work on your business skill, and you're going to work on your personal skill. If you don't have amazing skill sets that are scored regularly in this career path, you're going to find it very, very difficult to do anything. You're going to operate at a low frequency. You're going to jostle all about and bounce back and forth and not know what you're doing and jump from salon to salon to salon, every year repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. We don't want to get into that. We want to develop our skill. So know what is in business skill, right? Pre-booking, that's business skill. Retention, that's business skill. You better know your metrics. And if you don't know your metrics, how are you going to improve your skill? How many of you read your metrics and look at them on the regular? On the regular, I mean daily is good. Daily is good. Or if not weekly. Weekly is even better. Yeah? I'm sorry. Weekly is good, but daily is better. Right? And daily is better because when we go to bed at night, which we're going to talk about this, we need to go to bed reflective. We need to think about our numbers. We need to think about what we did. We need to think about maybe hurting somebody's feelings. We need to think about what we did that day that sucked. And maybe we could do better the next day so that we can change it and alter the course of what we're doing. So here are the lessons in a summation. You guys, you are welcome to take pictures of the slides. Please feel free, but it's a pain in the ass to retype it onto your desktop. Would you guys agree? So if you would like them, we have them on USB outside that you can purchase after the show. We keep it really low so that you can just take the flash drive, stick it in your computer, download the slides, and keep the slides so you can do your own thing inside your salon. Cool. So we're not going to spend a lot of time with this, but I just wanted to give you the overview. Let's dive right in. Lesson 1. Govern your belief system. So many people do not even understand that the belief system is an actual real thing. Right? They don't even know that they have beliefs. And by the way, some of us that had really sucky parents, they just programmed us all kinds of wrong. You know, my mom programmed me all kinds of wrong. My mom was like tiger mom, Asian mom. So she programmed me to be like concert pianist, which I sucked at, by the way, just so you know. Absolutely sucked at. I did get some awards though, so I do get a little credit for that. But I completely sucked at it the whole time and I was miserable, but she insisted that I had to be a pianist because she felt like that was going to be ladylike or something. And I was like the biggest tomboy ever. I didn't even like to bathe, pretty much. But she insisted. And so she programmed me to be a good girl. She wanted me to be a good girl that studied hard, that got good grades, that did all these things. So that was my mom's ideal of what she thought her daughter should be. And so this is part of belief system programming, right? And so now we have all this weird programming because now I want to be really slutty. I really do, right? Because I'm single and I'm 47. I'm like, I want to be slutty. But I can't because my brain keeps telling me to be a good girl, right? And so I got to change that belief system. Help me out. Anyway, but the belief system is something that I think is very important that we try to fight all the time. And if you've had some bad programming, the first thing to do is you got to actually acknowledge if you've had some bad programming. You got to actually know that when your parents might have just shared something with you that might have been a little bit wrong, or you had a boss that maybe was just a little unscrupulous and mistreated you just a little bit, or maybe you had a fellow friend that maybe told you some things that were very negative about yourself that isn't true. You got to first analyze the validity of that belief, yeah? And then from there, and this is kind of the process behind how you can govern that. And think about where the intention, I think, is from. And so in belief systems, I would always encourage you guys to think about the intention behind the belief. And so if somebody shares with you, getting a little bit chubby, you know, what's the intention behind that, right? Is the intention good? Like they're really concerned for your health and they're really wanting you to be healthy? Or are they just being kind of jealous and nasty and they're operating at a low frequency? You got to know when to drop people and when to enhance relationships with people. I just gave you guys some very base formulas, but your belief system, if you don't start changing this, you're never going to believe that you can actually win and succeed at anything. So you actually have to believe that you can win and succeed first. So we got to change that. Cool? So let's kind of move forward. Identify your purpose. This is part of branding, actually. If you don't identify your purpose right now, you're going to not where you don't know where you're going. Because the purpose is the target, isn't it? So your purpose is what you serve. My purpose has become clear to me for the first time in 47 years of my life. I felt like I always had a little bit of a purpose. I always kind of knew what it was, and I just kind of thought it was other things. I was going to try this and that. But at the end of the day, I know what the purpose is very clearly. My purpose is to help people in the beauty industry become really wealthy. That's my purpose. And so I'm going to try really hard to do that. I don't know if I'll succeed every time, but I'm going to try really hard to succeed some of the time. Yeah? And so I want you guys to really understand what's behind purpose and how you're going to create your own. Because this is a question I ask most people when I talk to them privately. I almost always go to this first. I'm like, so what's your purpose? What's your reason for being here? You know, what is it that you want? What do you need from me? Do you guys ever find it difficult that you're even asking anybody for anything? Like you don't even know what to ask for sometimes, right? You're like, I need something. I just don't know what I need, and I don't even know what to ask for. You got to figure that out, guys. So know what the purpose is, know what you need, know what to ask for. And so the really important thing that on this slide that I really want to point out to you is, how are you going to monetize what your purpose is? Because isn't the goal, would you guys all agree that the purpose in this room, generally speaking, is to make people feel beautiful? Okay. And have you guys heard people say I'm an artist? Yeah. Or I'm a craftsman? Right. But here's the thing, now how do I get you to monetize that skill? Right? That's the purpose of this. Why are you here? Other than that, I can't help you find your purpose and not figure out a way to actually monetize it. Because we actually have to live good lives. So, yes, can I inspire you to find what your purpose is? Yes. But my main purpose is not to help you find your purpose. My main purpose is to help you turn that into cash. Okay? So that you're wealthy when you retire. Because I'd love to see this industry being just a little bit more wealthy. A little bit. Do you guys know that the median average income in our industry for the first time since like 1984 has actually moved up? Is that incredible? It's been sitting at $11 goddamn dollars for like, I don't know, 25 years or something like that. A long time. $11.83, roughly in that average. 2016, report just came out 2018 for 2-year study, $14.72 per hour median average income in our industry in the United States. So everybody like, be really thrilled that we're actually doing something different in this industry to shift it upwards for the first time ever. I love that. But $14 is not acceptable to me an hour median income. $150 is a much more acceptable number to me. Yeah? Would you guys agree that that's a much more acceptable number? Okay, so lesson 3. Schedule strategically and evolve it often. So those of you that know me know that the schedule is like my thing. Sarah. Sarah used to work with me and came to our academy and all of that. So Sarah's very familiar with me. Would you agree, Sarah, that schedule is like my thing? So when I say create a master schedule, I do it and I teach it in a numbers-based format. How many of you guys have heard my 168-hour theory? All right. So this room only has 3 people. I'm going to share 168 hours. You are alive per week. Did you know that? So now, your purpose. Where are you going to put that purpose in your 168 hours? So we break into 4 components. The first component is restorative. You must get enough rest. If you don't rest well, you'll be ineffective on a daily basis. So those of you that have employees that sometimes come in and suck, maybe it's because they're not getting enough sleep. No. So restorative first. Second, income producing. I know it's second on here because it's where we support the rest of our life. But if you tell me you only want to work 30 hours a week, that means you're supporting 168 hours with only 30 hours. You get that? So you better make those 30 hours pretty darn effective as far as I'm concerned. And if you're making $7.25 an hour, your life is not that effective financially. You need to be generating something like $150 an hour, and now you're in. Okay? 120 I'm good at. 100 I'm okay with too. 60? Okay? So, and I know you guys are like, well, at $14.80-something, how are we going to get to 100? I'm going to share with you. I'm going to tell you kind of the fundamentals of that. All right? And we have a class called the New Styles Launch Kit, which we're teaching tomorrow. It is literally just to help stylists make more money behind the chair. And then educational, intellectual, we give about 10 hours a week on that. Income producing, I give 40, because obviously 40 hours is about what you should be working if you're not working part-time. And then personal emotional, we give 60 hours to, which is the primary amount of hours that we allot for. All right, so personal emotional is how you grow with your family and spend time with your family. Keep it clean, keep it tight, schedule, and be ambitious about it. In your 40 hours, I want you to schedule so tight that you make triple the income you have. That's the goal. Okay? Practice self-discipline. Okay, I want you to think about self-discipline like a car. That's how I want you to think about self-discipline. Okay? Self-discipline is the vehicle that you're driving to your goals. It's not something that you're born with. You guys know this, right? You're not born with self-discipline. If you're lucky, your parents taught you self-discipline. If you're not, they didn't because they weren't self-disciplined themselves, so you learned a bad way of behaving in life. So now you got to break the self-discipline issue. If you don't get self-discipline, it's like you're walking to your goals. If you have a well-honed, fine-tuned self-discipline system and a measure of accountability, and knowing that you can hold yourself accountable to everything, it's like driving a Lamborghini to your goals. That's how I want you to think about your self-discipline. So you either get there faster, or you get there slower, or you don't ever get there at all. But you actually have to go. This is how I see the career ladder. It's either one or two things. The career ladder is either going up, and you're climbing it, slow or fast, I don't know, right? Or the road in front of you can think of it that way as well. And you're driving to it in a Lamborghini or not, or walking. But I'll tell you, some people don't even have a career ladder that they're on. Some people have a wheel that they're on, a hamster wheel. And they keep going around and around and around. And they just like keep coming back to the same shit every day. And they just expect you to keep going on the circles with them. Like, spin the wheel, Nikki, spin it. Spin it because I want to stay on the wheel. And I'm sitting here spinning it because I'm like, I love you, get off the wheel. I love you, get off the wheel. You know what I mean? But they never get off the wheel. And so at a certain point I have to realize, I gotta walk away from the wheel. Like, you can just stay on the wheel. I'm all right with that now. But I'm gonna go ahead and go over here. You know what I mean? I don't need to stay by your wheel, spinning your wheel for you. Because that's keeping me busy doing something I don't need to be doing. They're not even going up, they're literally going in circles. So you gotta make sure that you have self-discipline so that you can actually just keep going forward or up, right? Because the goal is to make more money, and I promise you, I know you guys are thinking, money doesn't solve all problems. Yes, it does. If you have more money, it can solve a lot of problems. A lot of problems. You won't feel as sad, depressed, upset, anything. Trust me. It can't buy happiness, because happiness is really about being grateful on the inside. It's different. But it can definitely solve a lot of problems. Agreed? And so any of you have any problems in your life, the first thing I would do is try to make more money and be more successful in the 40 hours of income producing that you have. And I promise you, your person will be a lot better. Cool? All right. Self-educate all the time. You need to take at least 10 hours a week to self-educate. At least 10. That means 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Can you do this? How do we self-educate? This day and age, guys, how many of you take an online course? Every hand in this room should have gone up. In this day and age, with online education accessible to everyone for free, all of you should be engaged in some kind of online activity, engagement, education format, something. Every day, at least 2 hours. Driving to work, listen to a podcast. Driving home, watch it. Don't watch a video while you're driving, but listen to the video while you're driving. In bed at night, when you're sitting there on Facebook looking at bullshit, instead, shut the Facebook down and go to a podcast or go listen to something more valuable and more important to grow what you need in your 3 skill sets. Be self-disciplined about applying your time correctly so that you can give yourself the 2 hours that you need, because I promise you, it may not seem like you're moving up that wheel, but eventually you're going to wake up one morning and go, oh my God, I'm actually making more money. I'm actually more successful. It happened without me even knowing it. And so I really want you guys to understand that it's very organic and that it happens, but you've got to be on that road, or you're not moving up. And I'm okay with you staying on the wheel. I'm just not going to be sitting there spinning it for you, because I got bigger and better things to do. Agreed? All right. Wait, go back to that one just real quick. I want to point something out here. The brain, guys. Research, Harvard studies have said 50, 60,000 thoughts a day. Yeah, in a 24-hour period. Those of us that have ADHD, it's probably more like 100,000, right? Because I don't think they tested ADHD brains. I think they tested regular brains. ADHD brains are superpower brains. We have more thoughts. We have more speed. We have more power behind what we do. Society has convinced us that ADHD brains are bad, but they're not. That's why we're seeing more of it. Our brains are evolving and adapting to the need of what society is bringing to us. We are ahead of the curve because we're creating ADHD geniuses. Yeah. But we have to actually see ourselves as geniuses because we have creative brains. We don't learn the same way that schools teach because schools don't think outside the box. Yeah? I had to teach my son how to do his alphabet by putting big letters on big 8x10 sheets and taping it to the deck and giving him a Nerf gun to shoot the letter that I was telling him to shoot. So I had to think outside the box and teach him creatively, but he learned that damn alphabet, okay? I couldn't get him to learn it any other way, yeah? Because he loves guns, he loves to shoot, so I had to adapt. And that's what you guys have to do in your businesses. You have to adapt to management to every single person because we are creative individuals that fire off probably 100,000 thoughts a day. How in God's name do we hone down to the one that we have to do that day as a priority? Prioritizing is extremely difficult for ADHD brains. We can't do it because we're like, today I want to save my business and hire 40 people and make $3 million and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, tomorrow you're like, ugh, I just want to like have a burger, you know, and stay in bed in my PJs. I'm not going to adult today. Yeah? And so we do this. But how do we prioritize every day just one action? One. And get that done. We've got to learn to train our brains to do this. And part of the way of doing it is some of the things that we're going to talk about today. You want to be a very powerful communicator? Consultations, consultations, consultations. The success to being behind the chair to make more money is you fine-tune those consultations like you're a master hustler. Okay? I mean, do the hustle. All right, but communication is really about three things that Aristotle taught us a long time ago, thousands of years ago. Ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos, guys, do you know what that is? It's credibility. In communication, if you don't build credibility with who you're speaking to, communication isn't effective. Okay? If you don't build pathos, which is influence over what you are saying, meaning I need to have influence over you by telling you what I'm saying to you has validity and relationship to you. Yeah? So now you are going to listen to me. If I can't build relatability, then why talk? Just stop. They're not even listening. Stop wasting your breath. Okay? They actually have to do that, but it's up to you to create the credibility and the influence and the power that you have over your words. Communicate powerfully. Yeah? And then the last is logos. And we call it common sense in modern day times. Sometimes you listen to somebody, you're like, damn it, you don't make any sense. I'm not listening to you. You know, I got to go. You're actually talking some kind of crazy talk, right? But that is very important to understand that. Yes, is there some... Now, the other thing that I want to hit, and some key points in this that I think is a really important thing, is be reactive. Don't be reactive. Be non-reactive. And the key to being non-reactive is buying time. In my opinion, the most successful method of communication is to buy time. This is a lesson that I learned from my father, actually. He was a brilliant man about this. A jackass in every other way, but a brilliant man. And he said, always give yourself more time to process information before you make a decision. Never make a decision in the moment, unless you understand exactly where you stand. Yeah? But I would tell you buy time always. Never react to the moment. Never. Never like that. Just say, I'm listening. Can I process? Can I have a day? Can I have 2 days? Whatever you need. And then you think, actually put your brain to work. Because you'll be much more effective at decision making. Because decision fatigue is real, guys. And salon owners and business owners or stressed out stylists, we make decisions in the moment, and sometimes they're not the right one, right? Because we're sitting in a place of decision fatigue, and our brain is not firing properly. And so instead, we're just like trying to process, like, oh my God, like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? How did I get myself here? I regret that decision, right? How many of you guys have been in a situation where you're like, I'm so tired, and then your kids are like, can I go? 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 And you're like, yes! Just shut the hell up. And then they're like, you told me I could go. I was like, no, I did not. Yeah, I did actually. or your employees say to you, can I have this, can I have this, can I have this, can I have this, and you're so stressed out, you're like, okay, fine, just get out of my face, right? But those are not good ways to communicate. And I want you guys to communicate that way. And then there was something else on that slide I really want you to pay attention to in consultations is pay attention to nonverbal points. Learn. If you pull up YouTube, nonverbal points in communication, just pull that up on YouTube. You're going to literally have like 4,000 videos to watch. I'm not going to teach you nonverbal points this morning, I don't have enough time, but YouTube can. So if you get on YouTube and watch this, it is fascinating, the videos that are on there about this. Yeah? So, foster fearless innovation. I want you guys to be fearless. I want you to see failure as a learning curve. And I want you to do this as an ultimate goal of being collaborative. I want you to learn to collaborate. You know, back in the day, in the 80s, we called that shit teamwork. Right? But we're not calling it teamwork anymore. Because teamwork is cliche. Nobody wants to do it. Right? Everyone just wants to collaborate. Yeah? Why do we collaborate? We collaborate so that our abilities magnify. Get it? You collaborate with somebody on Instagram, another professional, and all of a sudden you're a genius and you have a genius team. Cosmoprof understands this. This is why they created the Global Artistic Team. They are creating collaboration, which is nothing more than the team. You guys need to create collaboration inside your business. Do it strategically. Place people next to each other that can collaborate together. Hone these skills. Take them out to dinner together. Tell them how to collaborate. Teach them. That's how you create teamwork. And those of you that don't like teamwork in this room, let me tell you, you will never reach the success of financial success that you want unless you learn to collaborate and magnify productivity through teamwork. Teamwork is designed to drive productivity up. That is exactly what it's meant for. Yes? It's like the lottery. Everyone puts in $1 and all of a sudden you got $40 billion. It's the same thing. It's the pooling of energy and resources that give the magnified effect. Know that. You need to create that for teamwork. There is something, it's called transformative vision versus tunnel vision. Somebody who has tunnel vision is always the same, right? Same, doing the same, not going to change. Well, okay, stop that. You need to transform yourself on the daily. It's not about change, it's about transformation. You're not creating change for clients like, oh, I'm giving you a makeover. I'm transforming you into the butterfly of beauty that you are on the inside. Right? We're bringing out their best beauty that's already inside of them. Isn't that what we're doing behind the chair, guys? Or are we just doing some damn hair? Like, I'm just saying. Yeah? What's your brand represent? Does your brand represent, I'm slinging some hair, what do you want? A haircut? An inch? All right. Yeah? Or are we transforming you? Am I saying, listen, I've got some plans for you. You want to hear them? Okay? And that's how a consultation goes. Cool? Next slide. Why is that twice? Okay. I don't know. Anyway, this is some really, really, really important points. How many of you get a new food and is like, eh? How many of you are like that? You're like, snake? I don't know. How many of you ever eat snake? I will never eat snake, and I wrote on here, always try. So I just want you to know I'm a little bit hypocritical right now, so don't listen. But I'm not eating snake, I'm just telling you guys that right now. Or dog, so I'm just not eating that, or cat. But I'll always try anything else. Those are my 3 limits. Those are my hard boundaries, okay? So, but outside of that, I'll try anything. And I'll try anything adventure-wise as well. You want me to skydive? I'll try it with you. Which I would love to do, you know? Scuba dive, I've done it. Like all these things, try it. It's the same thing. Adopt this philosophy through life. Try everything. And if you have somebody that doesn't try, here, like on your team, one of the best things to do is ask them what they're most afraid of and take them and go do it. So you're going to try it, and I'm going to pay for it. You're going to like it. Yeah. And if they don't like it, that's fine. But you took them to do something that was outside of their comfort zone, and it teaches them to think and try something different. You'd be surprised how much they can like it. Yeah? You want to make sure you accept every opportunity. I don't like it when people say no. Learn to say no. People tell me all that. They critique me all the time. One of the biggest critiques I have is, Nikki, learn to say no. And I'm like, no. Never say no. I don't want like to say no. I like to say yes to everything. It's my philosophy in life. Because I feel like if I say no, I won't be able to get every opportunity. Because I just feel like people bring me opportunities. Because I'm open for them. My energy is open to opportunity. And so if you bring me opportunity, I'm going to try it. I want to try it. And so get people to think this way. And if you think this way, you'd be surprised how much you can actually change your business. When I'm coaching a business owner and I give them ideas, I can feel how resistant they are almost instantaneously in the conversation. My team's not going to like that. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't like that. No. Well, then what am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm bringing you opportunity for change and for growth. If you're not willing for it, then what are we doing? Right? So I want you to make sure you do that. And then at the end, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence all day. Emotional intelligence is about going inward, what I talked about at the beginning. But strive for excellence, nothing less. Nothing less is acceptable, in my opinion. Have an abundance mentality. This is a lesson I've learned over and over and over again. Every single year, this becomes a big lesson for me. You know the key to happiness? I'm going to share a little personal story with you guys. So, I'm divorced, and I went, and I was with my ex-husband for 30 years. My wife is 16. Or more than 30 years, actually. And so we had 2 beautiful children, great family, and I'm loyal to the core, man. Loyal to the core. Thick and thin, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't work out for me. And so what I learned in that is that my children had a meltdown. My oldest especially loves his dad. And he went into this kind of mode where he crashed and burned, and I was really sad about it. And, you know, therapy, specialist, whatever, everything else. So I'm sharing this with you guys because I had a big lesson, a big light bulb moment in this moment of my life. And so they called me from school for like the 100th time, and they said, he's not doing great, you gotta come get him. He's like crashing and burning. So I went, and, you know, I said, kiddo, what's going on? You know, talk to me here. And he goes, I'm just so worried about you and Dad. I can't focus on anything. I just am so worried. And so, do you guys ever find yourself sometimes in a situation where you're just so hyper-focused on something else and you're not seeing the big picture? And he goes, help me. How can I stop feeling so sad? And it made my heart just break. I was like, oh my God. So this moment came to me because I am absorbing all this information as I'm learning in myself in life. And it said to me, tell him to be grateful. Sit there and list everything that he's grateful for. And it worked like a charm. And so I learned that gratefulness is the key to happiness. If you are feeling sad and depressed or lost or overwhelmed or whatever that is in life, one of the biggest things you can do is just focus on grateful. It's about the half cup, half full, cup half empty thing, right? Same thing. If your cup is half empty, and it can actually physically be cup half empty, but just look at what you have full. You'd be shocked to know. That is an abundance mentality. And in that, you'll be grateful for what you have. Do you know what I see most people failing at? They're their own worst obstacles. Because, especially employees, they come in and they think they're doing whatever they're doing, right? Whatever they're doing. And they say, I can't do it. It's like they put their own obstacles in front of themselves. And I'm like, of course you can. What do you mean you can't do that? You just gotta actually try, right? You gotta actually have the fortitude to push it through. But they've worked so hard, so they set a goal. I wanna buy a house. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna move you out of this apartment, it's $1,500, we're gonna move you to this place, it's only $500 a month. I'm like playing chess with them in their life. Because this is what I do, I coach, I mentor my people. And so I kind of figure out their life, and I figure it all out, and then all of a sudden, they work for 3 years, living in a room in a house for $500, saving money, working extra hours, hustling behind the chair, doing this, and they have $30,000 and they put a down payment on the house. And they get their first house. Somebody who grew up in a shack has their first house with a child. She's a single mom. Would you guys say that's a major accomplishment? Okay, I was so happy about that. I was like, we're taking you out to dinner and we're celebrating. Not a month in, she's miserable. Because her brain has been programmed to be miserable all the time. And she can't even be grateful for her accomplishments. much less anything else in life. And I said, do you see what the hell you just accomplished here? And it took you 3 years to do. Can we see this? And it's so shocking to me how she could not see that. You need to settle into routine because you're never going to get through a 40-year career and run a business unless you do. Right? Learn to be grateful for what you have every day and you'll settle into your routine better. Cool? Lead to action. Just go to it. Don't procrastinate. Just the moment somebody says, okay, do it right now. Right now. Just get into the practice of doing this. Okay? Always lead to action. Here are the steps to leading to action. I'm not going to read them to you, but the first thing is obviously establish your goals. We're going to lead through, find the objective, and at the end, just do it. Nike, yeah? Just do it. Okay? But I think you need to do something else. You got to set yourself up for success. How many of you want to work out more? Okay. Or at all. Okay. You got to set yourself up for success. Here's the key. And I have learned this, okay? You got to buy exercise equipment and put it in your living room, in your bedroom, wherever you can hang out the most. Put it right there. People walk in, oh my God, I can't tell you how many people are like bears. They're like, I can't put that piece of equipment in my living room, there's no room. Move a couch out, okay? You make people sit on your exercise equipment. Put it right there. Not only that, keep tennis shoes and new socks always next to you. When you're done, take the tennis shoes off, put it right there next to the exercise equipment, get a new pair of socks, put it right there. You have no excuse. Because I find that the biggest barrier of me working out is putting on the goddamn tennis shoes. That's the biggest problem for me. Once I'm working out, I'm happy. It's just putting on those shoes. So I feel like just putting the shoes right there is going to help me. So I'm setting myself up for success. I also hang out my bedroom. I have an exercise equipment in my bedroom as well. My living room, my bedroom. Guys, it's true. And I work out when my kids are hanging out, while I'm moving, I'm just like, I guess I should jump on the machine. Okay. So I just jump on the machine. It's right there. I can just not think about it. And I have to go to the gym, get my workout clothes on, and get my backpack, and whatever else I got to get. And I can't find it, and then 40 minutes into it, I'm over. Right? So take action. Set yourself up for success. Okay. Develop a marketing strategy. I have about 10 minutes left with you guys. 5. I'm going to run 5 minutes late. Develop a marketing strategy. Internal marketing, external marketing, and internal marketing. This is building a personal brand. All of you guys should be building a personal brand at this point. If you're a business owner, your personal brand is not here. Your personal brand is leadership. Okay? Leadership inside your business and the career ladder and the compensation that you have available in your company to grow your teams. That's what you're marketing on Facebook. That's what you're marketing on Instagram. Okay? Stylist. You're not marketing just hair. You're marketing your skill set, your business skill, your savvy, your intensity behind doing whatever it is you do. Yeah? That's what you're marketing. Now, in marketing, and you guys are welcome to take a picture of this or get the slides. I'm not going to read through this. I don't have a lot of time. I want to get to the number stuff with you. All right? So you want to make sure that you create your pricing suite first, because the first step in monetizing any skill set is to actually have it documented on paper. What a fascinating topic. How many stylists have I met on the regular that have 0 service brochure, 0 price list, 0 knowledge of all the skills and services they offer? 0. It's all in here, but how's somebody supposed to know what you offer, what you do? Write that shit down, guys. Just write it down. Write down your service list. Emily, would you agree with me? This is like a hot point for me. Emily is on my business course online. The first step in monetizing anything you do is actually to put it down on paper. That's all. First step. Okay? Outside of that is make sure you start to build up all of the key points of all the machines that you're going to use to build the brand. Whatever that machine is, Instagram, Facebook, website, whatever, LinkedIn, I don't really care. Whatever you do it and do it well and be consistent about it. And low regularly. Make sure your photos and everything is spectacular. Okay? They cannot be bad. They have to be good. And then don't be impatient. Allow it to grow organically. It'll happen. Don't worry. Okay? You want to start saving banks of images so that you can actually just have it eventually. And then you want to make sure that you build relationships with strong influencers in your community. This is a really key way to build branding. So connect with people like doctors and lawyers and jewelers and other business owners and whatever. Just cool people that have a strong influence in the community. Those people will bring you business. And then have a defined, formal, and strong referral program that's going to offer them some benefits and referrals to send you business. And take good care of them for free. Cool? That's one way to build a lot of clientele. That's a big lesson I learned. Okay. Create a 40-year plan. We're going to go into that 40-year plan in a minute, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. But did you guys know that the average career spans over 40 years? I know some of you who are 25 are like, oh shit. Some of us who've been doing it 30 years, you're like, yeah, it's not like that. Okay? 30 years happens like this. So get to it. You don't have a lot of time. All right? 40 years is not a lot of time at all. Sounds like a long time. And the thing is, I want you to be okay with building wealth. A lot of people stop building wealth because they think it's uncool, or they think it's like, selling out or some kind of nonsense like that. No, guys, it's okay to be rich, okay? Just get over it. So let's just build wealth. Let's just do it, okay? And then what do you want your legacy to be? Because whatever you build in this life, can you pass it on? Do you have any purpose behind that whatsoever? Let's look at the 40-year plan. Here's my numbers. 40-year career. Target metric for your average daily ticket is $120. So if it's not right now, you better get to it. If you want to learn how to get to it, come to the 2 o'clock class tomorrow and I'll tell you how. $120 times 8 hours per day times 4 days a week. Okay? $960 service totals a day. That's your target. Times 200 days a year. That means out of 365 days, you work 200 of them, you're off 165. I think that's a pretty fair trade. Agree? Okay. So stop being so damn lazy, calling out all the time. Okay. So if you do that, you'll generate $192,000 gross service revenue a year. If you generate $192,000 gross service revenue of service production times 40 years, that's $7,680,000 over 40 years. Could you apply some principles for $7,680,000? Do you think it's worth it? What would you do for an $8 million career? A lot, I would imagine. So, do you think you can stop making excuses for laziness and bullshit and small thinking and low frequency and less accountability and bad belief systems and low self-discipline and all that other stuff? Do you think you can get over that for $8 million? And good, then we're on the same page. And then we can keep moving forward, but if not, then I'm gonna walk away from your wheel. Yeah? So, here are some of the variables. Okay, so at 45% commission of $7,680,000, if you're an employee of a commission-based salon, then you will make $3,456,000. Now, if you save $224,000 in your lifetime of 40 years, is $5,600 a month. A year. That's very doable, guys. Now, some variables are maybe you add tips. So I didn't count tips, right? So tips maybe 50% of $518,000 over a lifetime that you would make in tips. Can you buy a house with $518,000? Yeah, I would say so. And then compound interest, retirement, and other savings and investments. We're going to show you that in a minute. Lifestyle cost at $3 million plus $518,000. That means you can live in your life for $3,518,000. Pretty good. And then annually, $8,960 and 40 years a month. So basically, a month you're living off about almost $8,000, $9,000. Pretty good lifestyle, yes? Compound interest calculator. I took this right off of our compound interest calculated with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. If you save $5,600 for the first year, you contribute $466 a month times 12 months. That's times 40 years. That's $2,687,961.60. At an interest rate of 7.5%, on average over 40 years, compound interest grows at around 9 to 11% on average, not 7.5. So I estimated slightly low. Yeah? Give or take, it's still a gamble though, but if you diversify and you get yourself a wealth manager, that's what you're going to have. Which means that you will have $2,704,761 in savings from your investments of $224,000 if you hustle and do $120 average tickets. Do you guys see why it's important to shut the hell up, get to work, and do what you're supposed to do and start saving some money? And have fun while you're doing it, guys. And take, out of 40 years, maybe 80 vacations. I think it's pretty doable. Would you guys agree? 80 adventures in your 40 years of lifetime and career. And then when you hit retirement, you have another $3 million to have some fun with. So get to work. That's what I'm saying. Stop making excuses for it. Let's hit the next one. Compound wealth as business owner. So you want to be a business owner. So now you just don't want to be a stylist anymore. You're like, why should I be a business owner? Well, this is why. Yeah? But there's a lot of work here. The key sentence is at the top. You train and maintain an average of 10 employees, which means that you just don't get to hire them and call it a day. You coach them, you mentor them, you take care of them, you nurture them, and you act like a really good business owner instead of someone who's a lunatic, reacting, crazy, firing people, saying stupid stuff that's very egotistical. Stop doing that. Your job is to grow these people. Yeah? And so in growing them, if you have a lifetime of a business owner after you're a stylist for 10 years, and you have a business, you open it after 10 years of being a stylist, you open a business. For 30 years, you run a business. This is what you can see. So now you as a stylist in your business, as well as a business owner, collecting slight amount of profit, right? 3 to 5% profit per employee. And if you save it properly, you do the math, you're going to see a profit range of anywhere from about 3% profit margin. You're going to see $5,423.60. So we put this through the compound calculator, and we ran all these numbers for you guys. And so if you do it well and you play the game to win, when you retire, here's the target number. Is this worth it? Is this worth it to be a better business owner? Is it worth it to take the entrepreneurial risk and work 80 hours a week until you can build a team? Is it worth it to come to shows and classes and invest dollars in your own skill set and change the way you think so that you can do this? Financially, it's got to be worth it. And I promise you, if you have $5 million in retirement, life looks a lot better than 0 or 100,000, which is what I think most stylists retire with, if they even have $100,000 at all. They live off of Social Security, which, by the way, if you're in a booth rental situation, an independent contractor situation, and you're not paying your taxes, you won't have that either. So, I'm just saying. Okay? So, here's how you need to, as a review of this course, you need to grow your 3 skill sets. You need to start making excuses. You need to make sure that you're educating yourself and educating your team. You need to run your schedule ambitiously and fine-tune. Okay? Jump to the slide. So this New Sales Launch Kit is what we're teaching tomorrow at 2. If you have any employees, or if you want to learn how to make $120 average ticket behind the chair, please come to that class or contact me. I would be happy to teach you guys all that you need to know. I have groomed so many stylists and so many people transitioning into it. This is an action plan for you guys. Into making more and more money behind the chair. Average tickets that hit way above $120, and so they're sitting way above that. I want to thank you guys for your time this morning and attention and spending some time with us. Thank you so much. And I want to share with you that you guys can contact me and you can talk to me outside if you'd like. I'm going to come right outside.